Hi, I'm Elizabeth Gearhart, and I'm sitting here with Richard Gearhart, founder and owner of Gearhart Law, an intellectual property firm. And now we're going to talk about something near and dear to everybody's hearts.
European validation.
Yes, the European
We all
patent
want to feel
validation
validated.
process. Yes. So what is the European patent validation process, and why is that important?
Well, and so if you file a patent in Europe, it's typically filed in the European Patent Office. And so there's the European Patent Treaty that covers 38 different countries in Europe. And so everyone got together, they decided you'd file one application at the European Patent Office, and the application would get examined by a single examiner. And then at the end of that examination, you would decide which countries you wanted patent protection in. So that process of taking the granted application from the European examiner and filing patents in all the European countries where you want protection is called validation. The most important thing about the European validation process is deciding which countries you want the patent to be granted in.
So it's 38 countries. How many do people normally validate it in, have it validated in? Is there a typical number?
That's a good question, and we get asked that a lot. And to a large extent, it depends on budget, right? So you need to keep in mind that the applications need to be maintained in each country, and there's a yearly fee called an annuity for maintaining the patent in each one of those countries. In addition, you may not want to file patents in countries where you don't think your product is going to be sold or marketed. You also want to make sure that you file in countries that have robust patent systems, because if you have an infringement, then you have to file a case in the country where your patent is being infringed. So even the largest corporations typically only validate in the major European countries, and that would be France, Italy, Great Britain, Germany, and Spain. And those are the most highly populated countries in Europe. And that's typically where most of the patent applications are valid.
You and I have discussed the Patent Cooperation Treaty before. So how does this kind of fit in with this? Is it a subset? Do you file your PCT application and then you do this?
Well, with the PCT application, the most common route to filing in Europe is to file the European application off of the PCT application before the 30-month deadline. The European Patent Office, European Union, is considered a separate country under the PCT. And so rather than filing in each individual country, the UK, France, Great Britain, Germany, you can file one case in the European Union, go through one prosecution, and then decide at the end of that prosecution what countries you want to maintain the patent in.
Oh, so each prosecution costs about $10,000, right? So you get 38 countries for $10,000? Is that right?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, you get
Wow,
38
that's a
countries.
deal.
Right.
And then you just have to pay the maintenance fee after, or I'm sorry, the annuity fee after that.
Right. There is a cost to entering the going through the validation process. So if you validate your patent in France, you have to have the claims translated into French. If you enter the Germany as a validation country, you have to have them translated into German. But most other countries take English as for the claims. So in some countries, you have to have part of the application translated into the national language.
So it's really a huge money saver for people.
Yes, it's much less expensive than going through the prosecution independently in each country. And that is an option for some scenarios. It does make sense to file the application in France or in Britain and just pursue it separately. If you only want one European country, it's usually cheaper just to file in that country without going through the European Patent Office. But if you want the option of validating in 38 other countries, it's much better to go through the European Union rather than file in countries individually.
So it costs the same, about a little bit more maybe, to file in 38 countries in Europe as it does like in just Australia by itself.
Right. If you file a patent in Europe, you too can feel validated at the end of the process.
But it's not just the filing; it's the whole prosecution. It's the whole process. So soup to nuts is 10 to 15,000. You spend that once, and you have the option for 38 countries if you spend a little bit more money. So that is really a good deal.
Right.
Boy, Europe is doing inventors a huge favor. So anyway, and you feel validated.
And you feel validated.
Okay. Well, I think that is great information. Thank you, Richard. And how can people find you? Because this stuff is not uncomplicated.
You can find us at Gearhart Law, www.gearhartlaw.com. That's spelled GearHartlaw.com, or call us. Our number is 908-273-0700, and we'd be happy to answer your questions about intellectual property law.